The Roman Empire's obsession with gladiators permeated all levels of society. Even the emperor had a favorite. In Pompeii, archaeologists uncovered a fan's graffiti of two pairs of battling gladiators.
You can see their names up above them. There's Severus, there's Albanus fighting away. There's Severus, there's Albanus fighting away. You can actually distinguish the different types of armor they've got.
Another example of the pervasive influence of gladiators on everyday lives can be seen in these common household terracotta oil lamps, which are decorated with illustrations of gladiators and their accessories. Contrary to popular belief, the most successful gladiators were rarely killed. They were too expensive. Too much money had been invested in their training and promotion. The pinnacle of a gladiator's career was if he was awarded the coveted wooden sword, often presented by the emperor himself. With this trophy, the gladiator would be given his freedom. Another way to freedom would be to buy it. Although gladiators were slaves, they were allowed to keep a percentage of their winnings. Many freed gladiators returned to the arena because they had become accustomed to its fame and fortune. Like sporting superstars today, very few reached the upper echelon. For most gladiators, every match was a fight for their lives. One can only imagine what went through their minds as they walked this tunnel to what may have been their last appearance.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Alright, I'm Jeremiah from History of Yarquab, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the elders, Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers worldwide, the elect, pushing the real doctrine. Alright, and the title of this lesson is called The Fall of the Pagan Roman Empire. And basically, it's just going to go into how Jake came up in the power in the Roman Empire, and the brother Karatazar and Arya Amat, they did a beautiful series on it too, man. You know, it's called Israelite Heroes, Septimius Severus. You know, they went in it, man. They broke it down. You know, and the Spirit's coming on different brothers to go into different topics, exposing this devil, because that's what you're supposed to do in the last days. You know, so let's go into the scriptures, because everything is filtered through the Bible. You know, so this is Revelations chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the names of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and his authority. Now today that'll be America, the beast, NATO, and the EU, you know. And the dragon is the Roman Empire, because America gets its power and its doctrine, its laws, you know, from the Roman Empire. If you look on the back of the dollar bill, what does it say? It says Novus Ordo Seclorum. That's a Latin term. A new order of ages, you know. Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. One of the head that was wounded, that was the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, which was Esau basically, you know. And it happened in 193 AD. It was a specific year. Alright. Now let's go to Revelation chapter 20 as a precept. And verse 1. It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand." All right, the bottomless pit represents Europe, all right, and the chain represents slavery. Okay, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. All right, because the word devil means deceiver. You white people, you're the great deceiver, man. You know. So the Most High, he put the spirit on Jake to enslave the Edomites for 1,000 years. That happened. That started happening, like I said, in 193 AD. Really happened in 325 AD with Constantine, you know, and the Nicene Council and all that, you know. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more. So who is that talking about? It's talking about the white man. Because what's this white man doing? When he first got into power during the Renaissance, what did he start doing? He started whitewashing the images. You know, he brought in humanism and evolution and atheism and all this madness. He started deceiving the nations. But that's his job. That's his purpose. That's what the Most High created him for, you know. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. Now we're in between it. We're at the end of that little season right now, starting from the 1400s, you know, the late 1400s, you know. And I want to make a point back in verse 13, right? When it says one of his heads were wounded to death, he had 7 heads, as it's stated in verse 1. It says having 7 heads. Now the word Septimius Severus, Septimius means 7, and Severus means to cut or to sever. All right, because the word Septimius, that's where you get the word September from. Because the Romans, they only used to have 10 months in a year. They started from March, so September was the 7th month. Then during the time of Julius Caesar, they added 2 months, which is January and April. You know, that's why you have that leap year bullshit. Every 4 years they add a day, I believe, onto February. You know, which is total madness. That shows how stupid the white man is. You know, that's imbalance, man. You know, but yeah, Septimius Severus cut off 7. Alright, he cut that head off, but really he cut all 7 heads. He took down the empire, you know. But I want to show you how Jake was all up in the empire even before Septimius Severus. Like Elder Tahar and the elders of GMS, they always say, an empire doesn't go down in one day, you know. People think, oh, you guys say 193 AD. No, you had Israelites in every part of Rome, of the Roman Empire. You know, you had from senators, you know, from the common work people. I'm going to show that in this book called Nature Knows No Color Line by J.A. Rogers. Okay? And I want to go to page 43. You know, because, yeah, an empire doesn't go down in one day. You know? So it says, Rome itself became still later the greatest slave mart of antiquity. Strabo, 63 BC to 21 AD, says that as many as 10,000 slaves a day were sold in Rome alone. White and blacks were sold indiscriminately. Slaves were employed at not only menial tasks as street cleaners, but as actors, tutors, secretaries, counselors, and physicians. Among occupations of Negroes as named by Roman writers were actors, dancers, acrobats, soldiers, gladiators. Hold on, it says Negroes. It doesn't say Africans, you know. So we were the gladiators, man. You know, priests of Isis, which is paganism, outriders, litter bearers, charioteers, which are chariot racers, bath attendants, cooks, waiters, domestics, divers, swimmers, you know, boot blacks, and the like. Others were conductors of elephants, who sometimes were of high military rank. Let me read that again for you simple Negroes. Others were conductors of elephants, who sometimes were of high military rank. And this is talking about Negroes. Alright? That's talking about Negroes. You simple-headed, black-headed nigga. You know? Niggas don't understand nothing, man. Page 52, it says, there is good reason to believe that certain Negroes and near Negroes rose to be Roman emperors. Indications of this are in the surnames, which were often given them according to some physical characteristic. It is likely, therefore, that Roman families or descendants of them bearing names generally given Negroes originated as such. Okay, so that's some information for your ass, man. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something else. Paul was a Roman citizen. Paul was a Roman citizen. That out, you know. That helped him a couple times. I'm gonna read one account of that in Acts, the book of Acts, chapter 22, verse 22. All right, so Acts 22, verse 22. It says, and they gave him audience unto this word, and then lift up their voices and said, away with such a fellow from the earth, for it is not fit that he should live. And as they cried out and cast off their clothes and threw dust into the air, the chief captain commanded him to be brought into the castle, and bade that he should be examined by scourging, that he might know wherefore they cried so against him. And as they bound him with thongs, Paul said unto the centurion that stood by, is it lawful for you to scourge a man that is a Roman and uncondemned? When the centurion heard that, he went and told the chief captain, saying, take heed what thou doest, for this man is a Roman. Then the chief captain came and said unto him, tell me, art thou Roman? He said, yea. Or I guess now he's an Edomite, you know, because Cornelius was of the Italian bands, and he was a Roman citizen, and this and that. No, you stupid Negroes. Cornelius was an Israelite. You had Israelites in the military, in high military ranks, but I'm gonna keep bringing it out. There's more facts to be brought out, so stay tuned. But I know you niggas got a short attention span anyway, you know. And the chief captain answered, with a great sum obtained I this freedom. And Paul said, but I was freeborn. So the captain told him, I bought my citizenship, but Paul basically said, I was born with the citizenship as a Roman. Then straightway they departed from him. Then straightway they departed from him, which should have examined him. And the chief captain also was afraid after he knew that he was a Roman, and because he had been bound. You know, so Roman meaning he's a Roman citizen. You know, he was born in a Roman province. He was born in Tarshish, which is modern-day Spain. All right, doesn't mean he was a Roman. He was an Edomite, man. You know, that's where Negroes get stupid. He was born in a Roman province, and he was a Roman citizen. All right. So now let's show you the common people. Like I was telling you, there's common people. The common people of Rome. All right. This is called Treasures of Ancient Rome by Peter Clayton. And let's go to page 75. All right, here it says on the right, an unusual, see this double? An unusual wall painting from Rome showing builders at work and the use of scaffolding. Why is it unusual? Because you got a bunch of Negroes. To the white man it's unusual, but this was